whilst in his lifetime, without bothering him, they could say, no, I know him well enough and I know the Quran to say this is the judgment, like if there's confusion. Is that what you mean?
No. When the Prophet Muhammad was alive,
yes,
there was no need for anyone else to be able to do judgment than him.
But when they were reciting the Quran, when they got to the verse that said that which Allah finds permissible, no man shall forbid, surely that is clear and concise.
So what's the problem? Yeah, okay, fine, I agree.
So if Sharia then forbids that,
forbids what?
Anything that's permissible within the Quran.
No, but by definition, Sharia is an attempt to understand the Quran.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just know during the previous, not the conversation between you and I heard someone else saying that even though 65:4 says this, Sharia forbids marriage of underage
No. Okay, well that's a discussion that
I know.
You're right.
It was just
I'm a different person. What I'm saying to you is clear. Let me be clear. 65:4 yeah? The ones who have never had menstruated before.
Yes.
If we say that this means that women, girls that are premature, that have not had periods before, yeah, we can accept this, no problem. Yeah, I'll accept that that interpretation. I'll say fine, but does it say in the verse that they can have sex with the man? It doesn't say that. As I said to you before, the Quran makes it explicitly clear in Surah
permissible to marry without consummation.
No. It says that if in the Quran it says that if you have touched her, then you don't have to give her mahr back. In other words, her dowry back. If you haven't touched her, then and you divorce her, then you don't have to you give her a mahr back. In other words, it's conceivable to marry and not touch. Yeah, and that is a form of marriage which existed. It's actually not a marriage. It's in vernacular terms we would refer to as a contract of some sort. So what I'm saying is this: it's not. Look, let me just. Yeah, no problem.
No, it's the opposite. He's saying without sex.
Yeah, so I'm saying without sex. Exactly. Thank you very much. Someone who understands a little bit of what I'm trying to say. So here, no, that's fine. Just leave him. He's a young man. He's obviously all the ladies are very attracted to him.
Thank you.
Very attracted. Now,
lying is a sin. You know?
Oh yeah, sorry. No. Some women are definitely. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Okay. So having said that, what I'm trying to say is this: is that so when the Quran says "Wallahi lam yahid," this is that if we put Jam'a Adillah, or put all the deletes together, which we have to do as part of the method, then you'll find that the Quran says, yes, the ones who have never had, but it also says, the hadith says, "La darar wa la dirar," which is the qaida, which means you can't harm or reciprocate harm, which is the principle that everyone uses to say that you can't have intercourse with someone who's pubescent or unable. The second thing they use is they use the fact that Prophet waited before he did it with Aisha. So what's the point of the wait?
Are we assuming from that Aisha had menstruated by the time she was 8/9?
She was not. She wasn't 8. No. It says 9 in the hadith.
She says 8 in brackets 9.
No, not 8. No, it's 8. 9.
Narrated by her.
But I would
no, it's
not.
In brackets.
I was playing with the dog.
No. Can I add something? I think this matters.
Sorry,
however.
You've spent a lot of time
of course.
Thank you very much.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yep. But why is there no? I mean, you can't know the mind of God, but why is there no category within 65:4 for those marriages that don't contain sexual relations?
Because
it's just about categories of not types.
We had this discussion before. There's some things that are not like the Quran is like the Constitution. The Quran is like the Constitution, and the Hadith is like the laws.
So it expects exegesis.
Right. So what? You need elaboration.
Yes.
That's why I say to Quran alone. I actually made this argument that you're making. I said that if you only took a Quranic understanding, then it would be permissible for you to have sex with minors.
Yes.
The only way to get away from that is to have Hadith expansion.
Yes.
If you only took the Quran, you're right. If the Quran was the only thing, I have a video on this with Quran aloners. If you only looked at the Quran, based on the verse in the Quran 65:4, it would be permissible to have sex with minors. But what I'm saying is that we don't just take Quran. So we take Quran and Hadith. And as a result of that, because of the actions of the Prophet and his saying that you can't harm anyone, the jurists have said, for example, I've mentioned Mirdawi in his book Al-Insaf and his chapter of Hudud. He mentions anyone who has sex with someone who's under the age of puberty.
Within marriage, or it doesn't matter?
Within marriage. They're whipped. So in other words, they're flogged in public. Now there's a question, the scholars, he said the Hanbali scholars, they differed. Some said that they are whipped and some said they're not whipped. The point is this, is that why is he talking about punishment in marriage? So this is something, what I'm saying is Islam is actually the only religion, in my understanding, understanding, especially of the Abrahamic religions, which makes it so explicitly clear that in fact having intercourse with unable people, whether they be minors or not, by the way, because there can be someone who's mentally ill, or by the way, like in the law now, can I ask you a question? If I wanted to have sex with a 75-year-old, me,
legal.
It's legal. But if I had, I guarantee, if I had sex with a 70, sorry, but not from me. So if someone,
to be fair,
okay, you're saying yourself. Okay.
I don't mean.
No.
I mean, you're
listen, what I'm saying is, but is it illegal?
No,
it's haram though.
So.
It's haram. If I went and married,
so is eating pork, and that's not illegal.
What I'm saying is that
I understand your point.
the one size fits all policy of okay 15, 16. And by the way, I don't care about that. I'm not even against the age of consent. But I'm saying that it should be more nuanced. I'm saying that.
No, 16 is quite.
Look, no problem.
Right.
I'm saying it's more nuanced in a sense.
Yeah, over 16 and without the emotional capacity. That's
no problem. No problem.
I know, yeah,
I'm saying that. Look, in the day and age we live in now, I would posit to you, and I made this argument before with Ali. We said that look, because there's more than one factor. Because qudra is a matter of ijtihad. Qudra, which means ability.
Yes.
It's a matter of ijtihad means. So what ijtihad means? Scholarly ability and to discern. Right.
So there's a lower and upper limit when it's generically acceptable for sexual relations.
Yeah, just one thing, and then Ali's going to say something.
But my other question. So earlier you suggested that the Quran in some places only needs exegesis, and the scholars come together, and you said some Arabic words, and they come together. So I'm asking over time then. So at the time of the Prophet, obviously there weren't huge schools of Islamic thought or scholars. There were just the companions and believers. So as time goes on, and you mentioned the law in this country, I'm assuming, of consent. Do those, obviously they're human, but do you imagine that those things are heavily influencing their scholarly...
Yeah, 100%. And they should do as well.
Yeah.
Because here's what people don't understand. Here's what people don't understand about, and this is what I wanted to say to you before you... here's what I want to say to you. Look, every environment is different, okay? The Islamic law is not a rock, in the sense that it's unmalleable, unflexible, and...
It's like science in that respect.
In the sense, there is a degree of elasticity, and that's what usul is all about. Is to see, okay, what works well in this situation? What counts as harm in this situation? What counts as necessity in this situation? And the answer to that question is different. So for me now, if I bring someone, my man, I say, look, we go to a primary school, year 6, year 5, year 6.
If we go,
year 5, year 6, 10, 11-year-olds, If we go to those ages, and I promise you, anywhere in London, anywhere in the UK, are any of these kids ready for marriage? Absolutely not. But the thing is, you don't know about a million years.
Yeah, 5 years.
Because believe me, it's happening now.
They're having sex behind the bushes.
But they're not ready for marriage.
No.
They don't go off and get married.
But me and you agree on this, yeah? All right, so me and you agree on this. Why? The reason why is, listen to this. We would both say that it contradicts their ability,
emotionally.
So it would harm them.
Yes.
Okay, anything that harms anybody is not allowed.
End up married.
Yeah, it's not allowed. All right, so if it's because the qaida that we have, which is similar to a liberal thing, is
the primary thing that we would agree on is because it's sinful. So God ordains that a man and a woman should join together.
This is what I say to you. Look, this is what I call Sharia consequentialism. Yeah. Because ask the question, why is it wrong to have sex with a 1-year-old? Forget about.
I'd explain that. I'd say physically it's damaging.
Perfect.
Morally it's disgusting. Within the context of God's law, God does not prescribe that in any way.
All right, but even if we had that out of the picture for a second,
it's morally.
Jesus does in the Old Testament though.
No.
That is disgusting. Please don't talk to me.
Okay, forget about Jesus for now. I'm just, sorry to say, but we love Jesus as well.
Apparently.
No, we do.
But it's Isa.
It's the same person, but it's just a different name. Yes. Listen,
I'll debate you on that
another time. Another day, another discussion.
Another Sunday.
All right, but what I was going to say to you is that, look, if you're saying it's wrong, primarily because of the harm, the consequences of it, right?
Because I have the mental capacity to look at that and judge
perfect.
that.
No, I totally agree with you, right? So what I'm saying is that if this, Allah, we'll call it causative reasoning, did not exist, then it wouldn't be wrong.
No, if nobody ever saw the wrong in something.
Perfect. So it's consequentially wrong.
Well, it's wrong intrinsically wrong because it's a gut reaction as well. You would say that's disgusting.
But
if
you can intuit something which is consequentially wrong, something which is intuitively wrong is not always it's not always categorically wrong. Now you can have something. Let me explain. You can have something which is intuitively wrong, but consequentially. Well, you can have something
intuitively right for drug addicts to take drugs,
but it's consequentially wrong, which means it's wrong because X, Y, Z.
All right.
You can explain why.
Yes.
Right. Now I'm saying that with that explanation, I agree with you. If you don't have that explanation, then we say it's not wrong anymore. Therefore, what I'm positing to you is a scientific approach. I'm saying to you that if the person's age is 15, yeah, it could be wrong, depending on that person. If she's 16, it could be wrong.
I'm talking legally then.
No. I'm talking morally. Morally, look. If you got a 16-year-old, I'm saying it could be wrong. Yeah, and it could be right.
Yeah.
Depending on that person's.
Depending on the age of the man as well.
You know, not only just that, but that person themselves, right? It could be wrong. It could be wrong. It could be wrong. Right. Depends on what the variables. Yeah. Depends on if it harms them or not.
But legally,
do you agree?
Yes, legally we decide that a minimum age.
But legally is a different story, right? Because that's the democratic reasoning.
Within society, we have all decided that 16 is the lower age.
No problem.
In this country, it's not even a question.
Yeah, that's in this country, by the way.
Yes, and there are other countries that have chosen 15,
14,
whatever,
12.
12.
Yeah, no problem. So having said what I'm trying to say,
some places don't have any age.
Yeah, exactly. No problem. So what I'm saying to you is this: is that if you say it's wrong because of the harm factor, perfect. Yeah, I'm saying to you, I agree with you. Look, Islam agrees with you. Yeah, Islam agrees with you. So I'm saying, so long as that cause is not there no more, then we can't say it's wrong no more, is it?
Each of us is a scientist to approach a relationship
but,
and say, I see that girl will be physiologically
it's not always but it's not always a scientific
or emotionally harmed because you don't yet know that.
But society is decided, like you said.
Yes.
So
after years of trial and error.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. Because if you really think about the, you know, when did this change? It changed in 1929, yeah?
Yeah.
When you had the marriage act change from 12 to
previously,
15.
Within Victorian times, women didn't menstruate anyway until around
no
17.
Problem. But the point is, here's what I'm saying to you. Before the year 1929, before that legal paradigm shift, no, it was 12 years old, yeah? If you look at the Marriage Act 1929, it was 12 years old. Before that time, what I'm saying to you is that, was it the case that all women that were having intercourse at that age were harmed?
I would suggest yes.
All of them, 100%.
Psychologically.
No, that's not correct. It's just, there's no evidence for that.
You can't prove the opposite.
No,
you don't know all of those women.
The burden of proof is on the one who's making the claim.
You are making the claim.
No, I'm making it.
You're asking the question, were they all damaged? And I would say, okay, on the whole, maybe some who were 15,
no, but that's a claim.
Some who were 15 years old and 364 days, maybe they were fine.
No. So that's a ridiculous claim.
I'm saying in general, girls under 16 are not emotionally or physically ready to have a baby. And sex leads to babies because 18 years old, you're physiologically, you've stopped growing, your womb is full.
You're still thinking ahistorically.
No, I'm not saying it didn't happen.
No, I'm not saying that either. I'm saying to you, look, if you get an 11-year-old's testimony in the year 1905...
They may say it's absolutely great. They may say, I got to leave home, I got to go off with this guy, but that doesn't mean it hasn't damaged them, and that damage may not come out until they're in their 40s.
No, but then if you're saying that... No problem. But if you're saying that is the case, that there was wide-scale epidemic harm of women because of that, or men for that matter, then what you have to...
Were having up to 10 children in those days.
No, but I understand. But can I just finish this point? The point is that...
You'll never have a baby, so I don't know what you're putting. I've had one. I know it's quite damaging.
No problem. You have kids, but
I do, but they're
listen to me.
infrequent.
What I'm saying is, you can't possibly prove that all women under the age of 16 are damaged.
No, I can't.
All right. Now, so having said that,
they're all dead.
if you go to what you have to do as a historian, then is let me give you or someone a tip.
Contemporary references.
Okay. Do you mind if I just finish the sentence, please?
Oh, you've been going for ages. Go on.
Now, just let me finish the sentence, and then you can say what you want. What I'm saying is this: is that if you wanted to do a historical project, which is done in many universities in London, in the UK, in the US, and in the Western world, the effects of, let's say, pre-teen marriage, for the sake of argument, the effects of pre-teen marriage on women or girls or whatever, on females, use neutral language.
Do you suppose that within those societies that
can I just finish?
I'm just an addendum. Do you find that in those societies where it's permissible, they're going to do any studies of damage?
No, just let me finish what I'm saying. You would have to, like what I'm telling you, what you would do academically.
Yeah. I'm studying it. I know what to do academically.
No, I'm giving you an example, right? So you'd have something like the effects of preteen marriage on society and on females in X society from time X to time Y. Then you'd have to go and get micro historical reports of like diary entries or something. I was so harmed and whatever. Now I'm saying to you that look, if you can produce this evidence and actually take into consideration the counter.
Produce the evidence for all, because that's the part.
That's the point. That's impossible, right? Exactly.
But that's why you asked the question.
Oh, brilliant. So we come to a conclusion now. So if it's not all, then it's conceivable possibly that 1,000 years ago, that a 9-10-year-old would not be harmed in these ways. That's
conceivable.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
Well, if you've got to go
Is
on.
there any other example?
That's all we need to say, Ali, please.
Also, can I clarify?
Is there any other example apart from?
And you know, regarding this is the Quran.
Oh, so the Quran says that divine law is unalterable. This gentleman's showing me that. So that was my whole point. If God has said it's all right,
To do what? But we're not saying God said it's all right. Yeah, we agree with that.
This argument that's recently arisen is David Wood's video. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah?
No.
Okay, so we recently saw it, and we're going to be doing a video very soon. So the argument here is
In those
Uncle, you need to listen. It's very important for you. Yeah. So the argument here is that it's talking about that if a woman doesn't menstruate, it shows that Islam allows.
She's a girl.
Yeah. Well, this is easy. Look, shall I tell you something? David Wood done a video 22 minutes. I'm going to answer in 22 seconds. 22 seconds.
look at the camera then.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Please.
Okay, the Prophet was married to Aisha at 6, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, before the Prophet consummated marriage at 9.
8. Aisha says
No
8.
problem, no problem. We want to make our guests happy. 8. You know what? Make it 7.5. Yeah, lucky chance. No problem.
Aisha said
Okay.
8.
Madam, can I- okay. 7.5.
She said 9 actually.
And then you're lying.
Okay,
but-
8. Okay, 8.
man.
Okay. Now, we believe Aisha was. We believe
Let him
that.
finish the point.
Let me finish my point. This is, wallah, it's very easy to be answerable, yeah? If the Prophet divorced Aisha at the age of 7, this Quran verse, you can see in action. Why? Because firstly, they've got a marriage contract. Secondly, the Prophet divorced her before she was menstruating. Yeah? So
Yeah.
your argument here that the Quran says that you
already
can...
made this point.
No. No, I think you didn't understand me.
No, I do.
He's going through other scholars and how they understood it. I'm saying to you very clearly, the Prophet's marriage to Aisha, you know where it says the iddah period for a girl that's not menstruating? David Wood is using this argument to say that basically you can have intercourse with a girl that is...
No, you could divorce a girl.
Yes.
That's what the Quran says.
Okay, so
Not David Wood, who's brilliant, by the way.
Yes. He's not going to be so brilliant.
Hello, David.
After what Hijab did to him,
yeah, you know-
I don't think he's so brilliant. I don't think he's so brilliant.
I think he's watching.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, look at this guy's face. Do you remember that moment?
David
Yeah.
is
Yeah, we all saw that moment. Yeah.
I did. What does
David Wood's career finished, but I think
Ask David.
David and Sam Solomon
Madam,
is great.
can you
They are
listen to me,
great.
please, because this is a very
You're
crucial
madaming
point.
him.
No, I'm talking to you, madam.
Oh,
Okay, the Prophet married Aisha at 6 and he consummated at 9. If we believe that she started menstruating at that age, if the Prophet divorced her at the age of 7, she is a woman that's been divorced that is not menstruating.
Listen,
Case closed.
my only
That's
question.
it.
No, well, the case is still open.
Okay, please,
It's in the Quran. It hasn't been abrogated.
According to you, it's
Please, let me.
So why you said please address
But
it?
I just thought we concluded quite nicely. But 65 says you can divorce a girl who is premenstrual. It doesn't talk about consummation or otherwise. So I can interpret that, and so can everybody else, as either with or without
That's
sex.
exactly what I'm saying.
So it doesn't say a girl who has not yet menstruated and you haven't yet.
Yeah, you would. You're right. But then...
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Pardon?
That's what I'm saying. Your argument.
It's talking about Mohammed Hijab. It's talking to all Muslims. This is the waiting period for a lady who's past her menstruation, is pregnant or during her menstrual...
Or a girl that's not menstruating.
Or a girl... Oh, it says woman.
Yes.
But Jalalain says because she's not old enough.
Exactly. So what we're saying is very clear that you guys are trying to say that the Prophet, so in the Quran,
I haven't mentioned the Prophet once, but thank you for the you guys.
thank you very much. So in the Quran it says that when you divorce, and it says girls.
Aisha, so it's clearly not
Would you
talking about
allow me
Did he divorce Aisha?
No, my
You need to have a halala for that.
Okay. So it seems very clear. Either you got my point and you don't like it, because I believe this
got your point.
this
I've
issue
already
between 6 and 9, the 3-year gap, has been so troubling for David Wood that he had to do a whole video,
Big up,
22
David.
minutes. You're going to pick him up, don't
And
worry, yeah?
you.
No problem. So what it shows us very clearly is that when you divorce a woman that is not menstruating, what you
girl.
guys don't understand is that you think when you get married and consummation happens, Islamically it doesn't. You can have a contract, which the Prophet did with Aisha at 6, and if the
and
Prophet,
right.
if
He
the
didn't
Prophet
defer
decided to divorce her at the age of 7, he'll be divorcing a girl that is not menstrually in the menstrual cycle, so it will fit this Quran verse perfectly.
It would,
because
but it's
so
not
so
about
thank
that,
you.
because he didn't divorce her, and he did sleep with her eventually.
No, at night when she was an adult.
No, 8. She said, are you calling her a liar?
When she was an adult.
Are you calling Aisha a liar?
Okay,
7.5 even.
By the way, the hadith says 9.
It says 8 in brackets or 9.
No, but that's in English. I don't know about English. I know the hadith in Arabic.
Is 8
I don't know who's
Arabic.
no, it's 9.
Some hadith says
Instead of talking about
Anyway, sorry.
Madam, why are you talking on behalf of